I definitely think of it as both a noun and a verb. So homesteading practices and stuff.
One thing I was interested about in your movement is the etymology, like the history of the word homesteading.
For me, homesteading is just thinking about how you can produce, create, make what it is that you use on an everyday basis. It can be anything from knitting your own sweater to having worms, composting, and eating your kitchen scraps. It's about that kind of activity.
How do you think that relates to like the past, or where the term homestead came about in the first place?
The Homestead Act essentially was if you and your family went out west and found a place and you could make that place productive and you could show that you were producing, you would get that piece of land.
I wanted to share with you a photograph that I got from my grandmother, Gertrude. This was where she grew up. It's a homestead in Snake River area of Idaho.
So from the beginning, I think it is about production. There is implied in homesteading the use of the land.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. You have to think of everything as a resource. I can talk about the chicken cycle and I can talk about our cycle, but say if you just use this tree, this is an apple tree. You can see there's little baby tiny apples getting ready in here. We come in and we plant this tree, and after a few years it starts giving apples and we start eating them, and then I poop every day. And we have this compost toilet that essentially breaks down the waste. It smells good, it looks good, and it does good stuff. To a place where after a year, we can take that compost and put it here at the tree. I know it's not magic. I like to call everything that is beautiful, I think, magic, but it's a living process. I like to think of the little circles and cycles as like the smaller you can get them, the better. But it's a lot of work.
I have a composter. I don't poo in the composter because that would just be a little strange. In my mind, it's like pooing in the composter, feeding my vegetables with my own poo, and then eating my own vegetable poo.
It's definitely its own separate compost pile. As long as you're using it in a space where it doesn't come into direct contact with what you're eating, you're fine.
Is homesteading all or nothing? Can you do some of the things and still consider yourself a homesteader? I'm not sure if I'm into the whole manure and worm thing, but I want to do other things, I think.
It isn't all or nothing. I think it's baby steps. The closer you can get, I think, to the resources that you use, that to me is getting you connected to a homesteading practice. Because I think if it is all, it is a full-time job. Like my husband, Francis, he's a full-time homesteader. So for me, I think like this is a gift, and now I'm giving it to the tree. Like, here is what I can provide. But yeah, it's not for everybody. So what is the little thing you can do in the city? I mean, I love that video from Ryan is Hungry, the apartment vermiculture.
Food scraps, bedding, air, water.
They feel like noodles.
Let's try it. Oh, tools. How many worms do you have?
300.
What? Sur les petits trous des trous de première classe. Back to the land.
I need you to focus.
Focus. You're right. This is the beginning of my education, homesteading, to feel the power of Earth, Mother Nature. No electricity, no internet, and then you want worms to eat good food because you're involved in the cycle of life. Oh, do the worms go to the bathroom? They reject anything.
Do they poop?
Just have,
Is that what you're asking?
in other
me,
words,
Vincent?
yeah.
Do they poop? You can
Yeah,
say
poop.
you can say
They
poop.
Maybe we can relax a little. I open the box.
Yep.
I must say that I'm not crazy about this part of the story. Okay. Ah! They are alive.
Let me grab one. It's like summer camp for
It's summer camp.
worms.
Spring break. We are a team, my friends. We are 300.
I hope we did this right.
I'm sure it's right. Okay, so when is it ready?
Well, with big chunks like that, apparently 6 months or so.
6 months? Okay. Homesteading is patience.
That's true.
I won't do that, but I respect.
Okay. So you
It's
can
cool.
come. I'll take it home. You can come to my house and check it out in 6 months.
Of course, I will be pleased.
Okay.
Thank you, Giselle.
High five.
As Voltaire concluded in the Candide book, you have to cultivate your own garden.
The city and the country, they need each other. I think that it's a nice balance, and I think that's that interdependence too. If everybody decided tomorrow that they wanted to homestead the way that we're doing, it would be devastating to this place out here. And I always think for my mind, I need this. And when I come here, there's something that allows my mind to become more expansive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I wonder if it's like totally in line with that desire you're talking about to like be more connected to the land. Like I feel like I need the space to recognize the stimulation, but I feel like the space itself is stimulation, but a totally different kind.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, maybe that sounds too dirty. Self-stimulation. I do think that there is, maybe not in every one of us, but I think there is an inherent desire to have that connection to the land. We're nothing without it.
Yeah, I like homesteading. I did loads of it. We didn't really call it homesteading at the time. It was great. It was a really practical course. And during that time, I lived in a treehouse for quite a bit, and also on another off-the-grid property.
I am a complete nut about urban farming. I live in the city, and I grow produce all over.
I think that urban homestead, it's a good beginning, and you know, in few months I will move more in the country. I'm excited because maybe I can live the life that I really want to live. That means I want to have a real garden, to do a lot of things by myself. It would be really nice.